we have an intriguing update on Jonathan Kuminga that's starting to turn heads around the league. A new team has reportedly stepped into the picture as a potential suitor for a sign-and-trade deal involving Kuminga. Up until now, things had been pretty quiet, with no concrete moves happening, but this new development is shaking things up. So, who exactly is this new team interested in making a move? Let's dive deep and break down what this could mean. It's been about a week since we last took a full look at all the recent action in free agency trades, buyouts, all the shakeups that come with the offseason. Now it's time to reset the board and reassess if the Golden State Warriors don't land Kuminga. Who remains available out there, and if they do manage to bring him on board, what does the roster look like? How would they make everything fit? That's what we're unpacking here today. While we're on the Warriors, the Summer League in Las Vegas is well underway, and the team has posted 2 wins and 1 loss so far. Their latest game was a solid victory over the Memphis Grizzlies, 96-84, which took place on a Tuesday night. This update is coming to you on Thursday, right before their next matchup with the Toronto Raptors, a team that famously ended the Warriors' championship run in the NBA Finals a few years back. Only 2 teams make it to the Summer League championship game, and right now the Oklahoma City Young Guns, the Sacramento Kings, and the Minnesota Timberwolves have all swept through their games undefeated, 4-0. The Warriors, sitting at 2-1, can at best finish 3-1. Meanwhile, the Raptors and the Spurs also have perfect records and can push 4-0. So it all comes down to point differential for those final spots, unfortunately for Golden State. That means they won't be making the championship game this year. Instead, they'll have a consolation game as their 5th matchup, scheduled for the weekend, Saturday or Sunday. So, if you're really invested in the Summer League Finals, mark your calendar for 9 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. Switching gears to some of the biggest news hitting the league, the Los Angeles Clippers have officially signed Bradley Beal. This move came right after Beal was bought out by the Phoenix Suns. If you remember, we discussed this possibility in previous updates, and it has finally materialized. Beal was owed roughly $100 million on his contract, but in the buyout, he agreed to forfeit about $14 million to become a free agent. The Clippers then signed him to a 2-year deal worth $11 million in total, with a player option in the 2nd year that breaks down to around $5.5 million per season. The contract also includes a stretch provision, which means the Clippers can spread the cap hit over multiple years, a financial strategy similar to what Milwaukee used with Damian Lillard's deal. This kind of flexibility is key because it allows teams to maneuver their rosters and salary caps more efficiently. This signing shakes up the guard position landscape for the Clippers. They now have potential lineups featuring Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook, Ben Simmons, and Malcolm Brogdon, all guards or players who can handle the ball and run the offense. It's a loaded backcourt situation that gives them plenty of options moving forward. Meanwhile, the Warriors still find themselves in need of a reliable backup point guard. Questions are swirling. Could Chris Paul return to Golden State? Would Westbrook be interested in joining the team? Some speculate that Ben Simmons might fit the bill as a backup guard as well. This all ties back into the Phoenix Suns' current cap situation and roster moves. Speaking of the Suns, they now have some breathing room in their salary cap after completing the buyout of Bradley Beal and waiving his hefty contract, according to sources. Phoenix has shown interest in pursuing a sign-and-trade deal for Kuminga. This is a complex process that would require them to send a player or assets back to Golden State in exchange for Kuminga, effectively balancing salaries and roster spots. The Suns are currently about $2,100,000 below the luxury tax threshold, roughly $8.6 million below the first apron, and an impressive $20,500,000 below the second apron. That's a significant improvement compared to where they were just a short time ago, making this trade more feasible. Kevin Durant's departure and Bradley Beal's buyout have been major factors freeing up space on the Suns' payroll. Their current roster includes some high-profile players, but also new additions like Jalen Green and Dillon Brooks, both acquired from Houston. The big question mark is whether the Suns would be willing to part ways with players like Brooks or Green to make room for Kuminga. On paper, Dillon Brooks and Draymond Green probably wouldn't mesh well on the court at the same time, which complicates any potential trade scenarios. Looking at Kuminga's potential contract, estimates suggest a figure somewhere between $15 and $25 million per year, though it could be less depending on the final negotiations for a sign-and-trade to work under the current cap restrictions. Kuminga's new deal would likely need to hover around 10 to 15 million annually. To fit within Phoenix's payroll limits, this would ensure the salaries match closely enough for the trade to be approved by the league, and it would maintain flexibility for both teams moving forward. When it comes to players the Warriors might receive from Phoenix in such a trade, options seem limited. Grayson Allen has flashed some solid three-point shooting and moments of strong play, but it's unclear if he's a player Golden State covets highly enough to pursue. Jalen Green stands out as a more attractive target, a young, dynamic wing who could fill a big role for the Warriors, but the Suns appear reluctant to part with him. The depth on Phoenix's roster doesn't offer many high-profile assets for Golden State to consider in this scenario. On the topic of potential Warriors targets, Anthony Melton has been a name that keeps coming up. Melton is expected to return after recovering from an ACL injury sustained last season. When healthy, he and Steph Curry formed one of the best backcourt tandems during the limited time they played together last year. Bringing Melton back could provide Golden State with a much-needed boost at the guard position, offering defense and playmaking. However, there are still questions about his health and whether he's ready to return to full form. Additionally, it's uncertain if Melton wants to rejoin the Warriors or explore other options in free agency. The free agent market itself has thinned out considerably. Many of the top-tier players have already signed deals elsewhere, which narrows the choices for teams looking to fill specific roles. Al Horford, for instance, remains an interesting figure. He's deciding between joining the Lakers, likely retiring, or considering other options. Gary Payton to GP2 is still out there, and some fans hope for a reunion with the Warriors, given his contributions in past seasons. Josh Giddey's contract negotiations with the Chicago Bulls haven't gone smoothly, opening the door for possible trade talks. Interestingly, Giddey and Kuminga are roughly the same age and both in the fourth year of their rookie contracts, which makes a swap between the two teams an intriguing possibility. The Warriors' biggest pressing need remains a dedicated backup point guard. Steph Curry is playing multiple roles and minutes across the board, which means having a reliable backup to relieve some of the load is crucial. Names like Patty Mills, who at 37 is a veteran presence, and Seth Curry have been floated as potential fits, but none of these options are game-changing. Cameron Payne is another free agent point guard who might be available, and there's also Damon Lee, Steph Curry's brother-in-law, who could come back. But the overall quality and depth of available players has definitely dropped off. Given this landscape, a sign-and trade involving Kuminga seems complicated. The Warriors likely won't find many attractive players from Phoenix willing to be part of such a deal, unless draft picks are included, but even the Suns don't have a wealth of draft assets available after all their recent trades. They've managed to regain some later picks, but parting with a first-round pick for Kuminga seems highly unlikely. So, the current outlook suggests the main paths for Kuminga and the Warriors. 1. Kuminga could accept the qualifying offer and sign a one-year deal, essentially betting on himself to perform well and maximize his value in the next free agency period. Or 2, he could agree to a 2-year contract aligned with the Warriors' core of Curry, Draymond Green, and potentially Butler, with a player option in the third year to keep his future choices open. Until then, things remain in a standstill with no major moves confirmed. We're staying on top of the situation to keep you informed. And this isn't just about rumors. This offseason is full of nuances, like the ongoing summer league and all the little moves that could change the landscape. Keep your eyes on the evolving story, because when the right deal happens, it's going to shift everything. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive dubs. Updates. Let's keep going. Whispers are stirring across the NBA world as rumors suggest a potential blockbuster move. Kai Sotto, the towering Filipino prospect, might be joining the Golden State Warriors in San Francisco. Sources close to the situation hint that the Warriors are eyeing the young giant as a key piece to bolster their front court, especially when it comes to dominating the boards. With a staggering 2.1 meter wingspan, Sotto's arrival could add a new dimension to Golden State's defense and rebounding strategy, something that has been a talking point among analysts all season. Sotto, who has been steadily climbing the ranks in the basketball world, is seen as a player brimming with potential. His length and agility make him an intriguing prospect for a Warriors team that has traditionally relied on speed, shooting, and versatile defense. Adding a player with such rebounding prowess could provide Golden State with more control under the basket, allowing them to secure more possessions and limit opponents' second chance points. A vital factor in tight playoff battles. The chatter began when insiders noticed increased contact between Soto's camp and Golden State's front office, sparking speculation that the Warriors might be preparing to integrate the young big man into their roster. Given the Warriors' recent struggles with interior defense and rebounding against the league's powerhouse teams, the prospect of a 2-point to 1-meter wingspan patrolling the paint is exciting for fans and analysts alike. If this deal comes through, it would mark a significant step in Kai Sotto's career, transitioning from a promising international player to a potential NBA contributor. Furthermore, this possible signing would underscore the Warriors' commitment to blending youth with experience, blending their established stars with emerging talents who can complement their dynamic style of play. The timing seems ideal, with Sotto possibly stepping into a team that values versatility and high basketball IQ, attributes he has demonstrated throughout his developmental journey. While nothing has been officially confirmed, the buzz around Kai Sotto's arrival in San Francisco continues to build. Fans are eager to see whether the Warriors will indeed harness his impressive reach to dominate rebounds and provide a new level of defensive intensity. Could this be the move that shifts Golden State's interior game and adds a fresh spark to their championship ambitions? Only time will tell, but for now, the NBA community is watching closely as one of the most promising young talents eyes a potential new home in the Bay Area. Stay updated exclusively with the latest Dub Nation news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep getting daily updates on the Warriors. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your input is essential for the Dubs community. Stay tuned for the next video.